video today?
Yeah. Where the hell did Gad go?
We lost him.
That was quick.
Hey, there he is.
Welcome to the Post Up on Sidebar. I think I got that right, aka the 5 Reasons Sports Post Game Show. I'm your host, Royal A. Shepherd, and I'm joined today by Mr. Jonathan Ramlakhan, Mr. Gadiel Cartagena, and Mr. Ariel Atias. How you fellas feeling tonight?
Pretty good. Nothing to complain about. Well, probably find a couple things we're going to complain about, but for the most part, I think we're good.
Yeah. I mean, tonight I'm not going to take the negative route tonight. I'm feeling kind of good. You know what I mean? We're undefeated in the Nemanja Bjelica era. And so I feel like that's a perfect place to start the game with our star player. So we'll do the overall team thing, and then we'll talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Belly himself. So I'm going to start with you tonight, Ariel. Ariel, give me your thoughts on the game, brother.
I thought for 65 to 75% of that game, the Heat played really well. I thought the third quarter was, the ball stopped moving and shots weren't falling. I felt like Depot was trying to assert himself and try to kind of put his imprint on the game offensively, and he was forcing it a little bit. And so, I think we need to preach a little bit of patience with him. I don't think anybody should overreact to the way Depot's been playing offensively. His defense has been pretty good, save for a couple of sequences where Colin Sexton gave him that work in the first half. But I think it'll come. It's he's trying to find his place within the offense. The Heat generally played well tonight. Looked a lot like the Heat's offense from last year for a good long stretches of this game. The ball was zipping around. Guys were cutting and ball handlers were finding them with crisp passes. Duncan was flying around the perimeter. He is back. That positive regression has hit, and he is back. And yeah, man, he's shooting. I mean, since the trade deadline, he's shooting 58% from the field and 56% from three on high volume. He is on fire. And if that sustains, which I have a feeling that, it will, maybe not quite to that extent, but he'll keep shooting really well. It opens up a lot for the Heat's offense.
Yeah, somebody called that boy Belly Cheese in the comments. I like that. But yeah, to your point, I think product of what you're saying is like if Duncan Robinson is hitting shots, that's how you know that the team looks like they did last year. That's how you know the ball is moving. That's how you know players are moving. And when the team slowed down, it was because Duncan slowed down. It was because the ball stopped moving and players stopped moving. But Jonathan, we're gonna come to you, brother. What were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I thought, a lot of what Ariel said, but overall we were moving the ball really well. We ended up with a really, really high percent to assist ratio as far as field goals go. The main problem was just containing Sexton and Garland on that one. That was like pretty much the whole problem. But other than that, we did pretty well. Like he said, Duncan was sniping. Bam had his imprints all over the game, whether it was offensively or defensively. He was just doing everything. He was really aggressive from the start. Started off 5 for 5 from the field. Jimmy had that little bit of time where he took over in the third quarter, that couple of minutes. Like you said, Bjelica probably had his best game as a Heat player. Trevor Ariza also had his best game as a Heat player. So a lot of great points that we can take away from this game overall.
Yeah. So, Gad, man, give me your thoughts on the game, brother.
Yeah, I think Jonathan kind of alluded to it. I really wanted to talk about Bam kind of looking like the best player on the floor, and also Trevor Ariza. I mean, we've been saying it, like that shot will fall eventually because he's never been a trash shooter throughout pretty much his entire NBA career. He looked good tonight. What, 4 threes, 4 of 8 from 3, and we know he's capable of cutting and getting to the rim and being able to finish a little bit. Trevor Ariza looking like he's going to become an X factor for this team. He really is. Like defensively, he's built to play against wings. He's quick enough to stick with guards sometimes. Maybe not like the Colin Sextons of the world, but I'm excited about Trevor Ariza on this team. I really, really am. And then Bam obviously played fantastic. I was happy with the way that this team played tonight. Obviously, Depot, Ariel, like you said, forced a little bit. Like to see him play more within the flow of the offense, but even then, he helped the ball move around a little bit to start the game. And when that ball is popping, this team is really, really hard to guard. And that's what you saw for most of this game.
Yeah, it sounded like you went through puberty. Your voice is a little deeper tonight, bro. I don't know what's going on.
My culture came in. I guess that's all I can say.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. So he mentioned Trevor Ariza, and I want to throw this to Ariel because Ariel, you were kind of one of the first trumpeters to say that Trevor Ariza will be our starting four, like kind of going forward. So I want you to talk about what you saw from Trevor Ariza and what was I can wholeheartedly agree, his best game in the Heat uniform.
I think the only thing that was different tonight was that he got into a rhythm with his jump shot. I mean, we knew coming in that he was going to be a really good defender for this team. He's been that for the duration of his career. That's nothing new. And I think Eric Reed had mentioned like in his debut with the Heat that he was like top 35 or something in all-time NBA three-point makes. That kind of shocked me, but it just goes to speak that, he's not a 40+% three-point shooter, but he can make threes. You leave him open, he'll make them. And if he's contested, he might still make them. It's just all a matter of him getting into his rhythm. We saw that start happening tonight. He hadn't shot well in his first few games with the Heat. And, when he's on, he provides the Heat a lot of what Jay Crowder did last year, plus, the ability to stay in front of guards. He can guard out on the perimeter better than Jay Crowder. He's not as beefy, and he's not going to be as good defensively in the post as Jay Crowder. But again, he's just going to do for the Heat a lot of what Jay Crowder did in that he unlocks their lineups and lets them switch and just gives them a much more versatile defense and many more, options of what kind of defense they want to play. So he's a perfect fit. They got him for nothing. It's a steal, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, so Ramakot, I want to throw this to you because we were talking about Victor a little bit. I think Ariel mentioned Vic, and yeah, he didn't shoot well, but it's kind of similar to what we were experiencing with Trevor Ariza, where he wasn't impacting the game offensively just yet, but defensively his impact was felt immediately. And while he wasn't. I don't want to say he was bad defensively. He wasn't bad defensively. He was pretty decent. He was solid, but his floor is higher than the ceiling of anybody else that we could have put out there. And by extension, our defense looked really good tonight. So I want you to talk about Vic's impact on the game while he wasn't scoring the ball.
He's on mute. Jonathan, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Oh, Jonathan, you're muting, but you're going ham right now, bro.
Yeah, you were going in. Whatever it was, I agree. I don't know what you said, but I agree.
Yeah, I saw my boy Jonathan put his shoulders in that thing. Like
I was feeling that.
Started shaking the head.
I was just saying, it just speaks to how deep he is as a player, right? Because before this trade deadline, the problem with this team was we had so many one-dimensional players. It just shows what he can do for this team, right? He was driving and kicking. He had that. He's starting to develop a little bit of chemistry with Trevor Ariza. I don't know if that's two guys coming in on the trade deadline thing, but he has nice chemistry with Trevor Ariza. He found him to hit an early three and get him going, right? He's able to drive to the basket. We saw that beautiful Euro step before the end of the first half. And I mean, I feel like he has he just wants to do that to draw Heat fans, right, to him, to kind of give his ode to D Wade, obviously wanting to probably be as a Heat player for a while. He did a lot of other things as well. He was able to draw some free throws. He was able to draw another charge, right? He was able to do that as well. So it just speaks to the depth of his game, and it makes me more excited, honestly, because if he's able to impact this game in such a way and shooting the ball, honestly, if Kendrick Nunn had that performance, we'd be clowning on Kendrick Nunn on the night because he shot the ball awfully. He couldn't even hit his free throws. He wasn't doing much at all when it comes to hitting a shot, but it just shows how much better this team can get once he gets his groove here in Miami.
Yeah, I want to thank our guy Adam Baran for the $4.99 dodo. He said, "Love the diversity, gentlemen." Yep. Me too, bro. Yeah, culture minutes. But yeah, so staying with that theme, kind of like Victor Oladipo and his impact on the game. He was also impacting the game playmaking. Like I think that's what he does. Another element of his game that goes unheralded with us. And Gad, I'm gonna throw this to you. Is his ability to make plays for other people out there. So I want you to talk about what you saw from Vic in terms of playmaking tonight.
Yeah, his natural ability to kind of make reads while he's already driving, like while he's in motion, he makes pretty good reads. And that's something special that when he develops that chemistry with Bam, I think that's something they're really keying in on. They want to get Depot and Bam pretty much acclimated to each other. They just want to get them like really working together and no understanding who's going to be cutting where at what time. And he's looking for him a lot. I mean, 4 of his turnovers tonight, I feel like all 4 of them or 3 of them, I think one was a charge. 3 of them must have been him looking for Bam while he had already drove. Like if he keeps looking for Bam, then it's going to be a really, really good duo for them. And you saw it tonight, like Depot and Bam getting minutes together with Herro sprinkled in there. And then you have Jimmy and everybody else playing on the other end. Like Jimmy can elevate the other 4 guys, and Depot, Bam, and Herro can kind of run their little trio together with whatever supplementary players they give them. I think Depot's playmaking is going to be huge for this team. He's making looks for other players. He's collapsing defenses, and once that happens, we're going to get wide open shots, which we're starting to hit now. So the vision of the offense is starting to come into shape, and it looks pretty damn good, honestly. Like, I'm not saying it's going to be a world-beating offense, but as a complement to the defense, looks pretty solid. I'm feeling we're trending in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, I think I think your point goes perfectly in line with our guy Poetic Lifestyles 499 Don't Know. He said, give it up to Duncan and Trevor's consistency, back-to-back games behind the three-point line. And I think that's absolutely speaks to what you're talking about. Those guys are hitting open shots, and it makes it, that much better. Okay, so there's a guy who we give a lot of shit to on the show, and I'm going to show him a little bit of love. Let's talk about the guy Precious. He got Iggy's minutes tonight, and sometimes he was a shit show, and sometimes he wasn't, which is more than what we can say for him. So, Ariel, you can read the dono, and then I want you to talk about Precious' game tonight.
All right, so I want to thank Ari Simon for the $5 dono. Says, great work, guys. Oladipo will come around. Think he needs a game with no Jimmy, so he has to take over, and he'll gain that confidence. I don't really know if we want any games without Jimmy, but I think you make great points. Other than that, absolutely, he'll settle into it. Again, another indicator of the fact that he's probably just pressing too much and he's trying to do a little bit more in certain spots than he should is the fact that he has 11 personal fouls in 2 games. He's a good defender. He's not somebody who's going to pick up 5 fouls a night. So it's just all about settling down for him, relaxing a little bit, finding the spots within the offense where he can be effective, and he'll be fine. The question, Precious. I thought he had decent minutes today. Had a couple of really good plays. Like, he had an amazing help side recovery where he blocked a shot near the baseline. That was a good play. He wasn't a total disaster around the basket, so that is definitely progress, right? Like, he still does this thing where every single no, absolutely not. Sorry, Arlene, you're awesome. You're always in the comments.
I think the concept that Arlene is going for works in theory, just not with the team and where they are right now.
No,
we'll get him in the G League next year.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, minutes will improve him. It's just right now with this team, minutes will not improve the team.
Right. And I think, he does this thing where he consistently, every time he gets the ball in the post, he feels like, or under the basket, he feels like he has to put the ball on the deck before going back up. And it just it gives the defense a chance to catch up to what he's doing. It gives ball handlers a chance to get their hand in there and strip the ball from him. So he needs to work on his fundamentals. And I think it'll come with time, but I'm not playing him ahead of Belly. I'm sorry. It's just I couldn't understand that in the second half. But yeah, Precious will get better, just not this year, hopefully.
Ramakan, I want you to talk about Precious' game and but I want you to read the $8 dono for. This is the first time we ever got a dono for $8.
Right. I want to thank Alec Bajer the $8 for the 8-foot that Duncan's 3 climb before switching in. That was pretty amazing because I thought that ball was going to come out for a rebound and ended up going in. So that was a pretty good shot. But getting into Precious, I mean, Ariel hit on everything, right? He does something where he has to put the ball down for some reason before he goes up, and then the defense is able to recover in that split second. And then we saw early, he was fronting, not sure which one of their guards, but Jimmy was like, get behind him and get it. And he got the pass to him, and he put the ball down, and there was somebody there already, right? But he did have that pass to a cutting Herro. He did, hit his shots around the rim. So it was nice to see him. But I think if you sub out Precious and you put Iggy in there, all the players that played tonight, that's probably our playoff lineup, right? And we probably won't see much Precious. But I think, he did a decent job tonight. I don't think we'll see as much of him as the closer it gets to the playoffs, right? But yeah, I mean, he gave you what he gave you, and he wasn't a full negative tonight. Actually, I think he was the only negative tonight. Yeah. No, never mind. -3.
We got guest.
Hey, we got the guest.
The guest.
It worked. We heard you. What?
Well, it was fun while it lasted. It's like tonight.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
like Gabe's minutes.
The boy Ethan came in here to talk for 45 minins. Put him back in here as soon as he get back, Manny. I want him to talk about the game. Let's talk about our stars tonight, man. So we talked a little bit about what Bam gave us. Let's give Jimmy some love, bro. Ethan, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, no problem. So, Ethan, we're going to throw this question to you. You guys are a partner tonight, so thank you for joining the show. So we're talking about Jimmy's game right now, and I want you to just give your overall impressions of what Jimmy did tonight.
Well, this is now his 8th double-digit assist game of the season. So I was trying to go back and look. His entire time in Chicago, he didn't have 8. Which gives you an indication of kind of the pace that he's playing at right now, and also the vision that Eric had for him when he came, which was pretty much as a point guard, which is not a vision that anybody's ever had for him before. I can tell you that I talked to somebody during the game who was like thinking of texting him at halftime and saying, can you break the Heat's all-time scoring record in the third? That's kind of what they thought of Cleveland's defense tonight. He didn't do that. He was just setting everybody else up. No, he's just playing. He's playing at his own speed. And I think when you watch him and then like you watch Precious, for example, you see kind of the difference in a player who's playing at his own speed and a player who's playing at like, chipmunk speed, right? Yeah. And that's kind of what Precious is playing right now. Jimmy's playing at like Marvin Gaye speed. Like it's slow, he's so it's just different. The level that he's at right now, and they envisioned him as a mini LeBron, and in a lot of ways he's become a little bit more than just a mini LeBron. So I thought he was great tonight, but honestly, I thought Bam was by far the best player on the floor. Just both ends, everywhere, setting up the offense, defensively, getting back. I don't understand how people can watch him and not think he's a max guy. I don't get it. I mean, yes. I don't know what else you want him to do. I mean, now he's taking 3 dribbles for 17-foot pull-ups. He looks like Bosh. I mean, so you want him to do it more often? Okay.
Hold your horses there. Now, hold your horses, boss.
I mean, he's not Bosh, but that is, I mean, he's worked with Chris on this stuff, and we've spoken to Chris about this, and there's a reason that Chris anointed him the next one. I mean, that's, because he has those elements in his game. So he was great tonight.
That's fair. I love the way Bam played tonight. And Gad, I saw you were very eager to agree with Ethan. So I'll throw this to you. Talk about, what is that shirt, Ethan?
This is BUSR. This is our new gambling sponsor. Thank you. The Heat were 12.5-point favorites tonight.
Hey, Manny, don't give him the full screen, bro. Don't give him that much respect. This not his show.
No,
that's cool. Yeah, they don't sponsor the post game show. You can just tell us what they are.
Well, they might. Royal, they might.
Oh well. Well, hold on. Put a full screen again. Put a full screen again, man. There we go.
BUSR.com. Use the code 5RSN.
Hey,
there you go.
Everybody,
5RSN. They might.
Everybody here go in there. But Gad, I want you to go ahead and talk some about Bam's game. What you saw from it tonight?
Nah, like you guys know Bam is my favorite player in the NBA. Like I love watching Bam play basketball. His energy on both ends is great. And like especially rebounding, he's really picked it up for this team because they struggle to guard bigger players or whatever. But if the ball's going up, Bam is typically coming down with it as long as anybody else is trying to box out. So I mean, they're gonna have to team rebound, but Bam 11 rebounds tonight, I believe. Yeah, I mean, 18, 11, and 5. And, like, obviously he looked like the best player on the floor, at least in Ethan and I's opinion. But once again, it's not one of those games where, like, you left the game saying, damn, that was a great Bam game. It's just the type of impact that he has on a game-to-game basis is, like, these are the numbers he's going to end up with. And he just impacts the game so much. And, I mean, his defense, his ability to just take people off of the dribble and start to draw fouls, he's special. Bam really is special, and there's so many facets to a game that maybe not in points per game, but everywhere else, he is just unreal. And it's a joy to watch him play every night. Like, this wasn't anything out of the ordinary, but it just makes you appreciate a player like Bam.
Well, it tells you what they think of him, guys, that they're not rushing out to get a big. Right? Because when I've talked to people over the past 3-4 days inside the organization about the whole big situation, they are not panicked about it. They're just not. Like, their thing is that most of the bigs that are out there don't fit in the modern NBA, and B, thank you very much, Arbra, appreciate it. I do have a bedtime of 8 o'clock.
You gotta read the don't know, Ethan, on the post up. You gotta read the don't know.
All right, I'm reading it. That's it. I gotta read it. I thought
you have to read
a bedtime of 8 p.m.
There you go.
My daughter's bedtime's 8:30. She's not here tonight. I can stay up. But I'm going to Las Vegas afterwards. So it's all right. But anyway, But the thing about it is talking to them inside the organization, they're not. What I was told is there a big out there that Eric will play? And the answer is no. I mean, it's just about having an emergency big in case you get foul trouble or you're going against an Embiid or something like that. But they don't against Milwaukee, against Philadelphia, against the Brooklyn, they don't really see a huge need for it. Against Boston, which maybe ended up being a first round opponent in a 4-5, they don't really see the need for it. So Atlanta doesn't have elite backup bigs. So I don't think they see a real concern here. I really don't. I think they may bring in a big, but I think they're just as likely to bring in a developmental guy, or I think they're just as likely to try to wait for like a Rondé Hollis Jefferson player like that
He just got signed.
Yeah, he got
He
scooped
got
up.
Rondé
signed,
he got signed.
Sadly.
But a player like that, like in other words,
Yeah. Like if Otto Porter
an
get bought
Otto
out.
Porter, if he gets bought out, would be an option for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so Ethan, you're going to be a part of our new game that we play every night. Ramla Khan, you're the host. You go ahead and pass it to whoever you want to.
All right, so I'm gonna start off with this question. We talked a little bit earlier, and I'll toss it to Ariel. Right, we saw a little bit of Bam and Bjelica play together, and I thought those minutes were relatively impactful. We saw Bjelica be able to find Bam when Bam was cutting to the rim. He's able to make the extra pass. He was able to find shooters, and Bam is able to roam around and kind of play that free safety role. Defensively, he can kind of play two lanes off ball at the same time, so it lets Bjelica kind of park up in one spot. So let me get to you on this. Do you feel like that's the lineup moving forward that we're going to see more of, or do you think that was just kind of replacing the Iggy minutes and that pushes back Precious a little bit?
You nailed it. That's exactly what I was going to say. I think that those Belly plus Bam minutes are primarily because Iggy wasn't in the lineup. I think, especially in the playoffs, Belly functions primarily the same way that Kelly Olynyk did last playoffs, where he plays all of the non-Bam minutes in 13 to 15 minutes a game, and that's about it. That's also why, on 5 on the floor, Ethan, I had said, like, I don't think it makes sense. Well, not that it doesn't make sense, but I don't really see them needing to bring in a big all that much because he's not going to play barring injury. There's nobody out there. So, I think Belly functions as the backup 5. We've talked about you can play Bam and Belly together because even though Belly's not a very good defender at all, Bam covers up so much of the mistakes, right? He blows up so many actions before teams are even able to get into them on offense. And so that just buys the Heat a lot of time and gives them a lot of rope on defense. If you're out of position, right? A lot of the time, Bam, rotates over ahead of time or whatever. He sees plays develop before they happen on offense. He's such a smart defender. And so it gives a lot of leeway to the Heat's, less than stellar defenders to where they're able to hold their own because Bam buys them time. So, yeah, I think Belly primarily functions as the backup 5, and I think that the minutes tonight were due to Iggy being out. Where should we go with this? I'm going to go to Royal. Royal, how do you feel about Goran's play tonight, and what's the prognosis going forward?
I think Goran was much more aggressive than he has been coming back from that injury. I like the way he played tonight. I don't expect Goran to have to carry as much of a load now that we have Vic. Like, he's been taking over a lot of that ball handling duty. And then they've been able to spread that around so that Goran can be aggressive in spots. And so as long as he can do that, then that's going to be enough for me. Until we get to the playoffs, then we don't need to have his usage all high and whatnot. So as long as he can, do that in spot minutes, then I'm fine with the way he played. So I'm going to throw this question to Ethan. Mm-hmm. Ethan, I've been constantly saying that it really doesn't matter to me how Tyler Herro plays because to me, he doesn't seem to impact whether we win or lose the game. And I think that's just at this stage of his development. When he gets hot, yeah, sure, it's an added bonus. But tonight, he played about average, and we still were able to win pretty convincingly. Am I crazy for saying that Tyler Herro's impact on winning isn't where fans should want it to be or where it should be?
Well, I think it's a little overrated because he's a polarizing player. But here's why I do think there is an impact on winning. Is Erik Spoelstra going to continue playing him every minute of the fourth quarter?
Absolutely.
But
he didn't tonight.
But he did well, but it wasn't as competitive a game. I'm talking about competitive games. If he's going to play him in competitive games, it is going to have an impact on winning. Because remember, you're talking about 3 guys who are going to be on the floor in those final 6 to 8 minutes, right? Bam, Jimmy, and Oladipo. If Herro's going to be the 4th, and it appears he is, that leaves only one spot, okay? It's likely going to be Ariza or Iguodala, which means that Dragic and Robinson are not going to be on the floor in those situations. And I do think that is going to be perceived as an issue by Heat fans if they lose some games and Goran is sitting on the bench in the last 5 or 6 minutes and Tyler is playing, or Duncan, who all of a sudden is getting, of course, shots, is on the bench too, okay, when he's having one of those nights where he's got 4 or 5 threes. So I do think the Herro thing is going to become an issue because we've talked about it on 5 on the floor. Greg and I cannot come up with another player in Heat history, certainly playing under Erik Spoelstra, who played so much in the fourth quarter and yet was basically a liability on defense. There is no, except maybe late career Dwayne Wade, okay? Like, there is not really.
We don't tolerate that here, Ethan.
No, the unnamed Cavalier, right? That's dude, I just want to say this, and I'll go to a question for someone else. I've known Eric Reed I've been obviously following him since 88, but I've known him since 96, okay? I know Eric very well. This is the Eric Reed I know I never thought the Eric Reed I know would actually appear on the broadcast like it's appeared this year. He is in private, snarky. He is. You will get the truth from Eric that you didn't get on, and then it was like totally different person on the air. All of a sudden, he's now the same person in both places. I don't know what happened.
Breakout season.
Well, it is.
Blake Griffin.
It is. Maybe he did it to it, but I don't understand. And the funny thing is, like, I've always said the same about Spoelstra and Reed. Spoelstra, you get Eric on the side, like Spoelstra curses like a sailor, but it's like then he gets in front of the cameras and you don't get any of it. Eric Reed's been like that this year. All right, let's I got one and then I'm gonna bolt here and leave this thing to you guys. But let me go to Gad on this one. Victor Oladipo, okay. During the game, there's a dichotomy here because to me he looks fine physically. Okay, he looks okay. I mean, I don't think that's affecting the shot defensively. I thought there was some explosiveness on offense, but I'm getting texts from lead sources who are telling me who didn't didn't think much of him before the trade, and they're texting me saying, "See, the quad's still a problem. See," and apparently there were more issues, and we're going to dig into this a little bit more. There were more. The reason Houston got nothing for him is nobody thought he was healthy. Okay, that's basically why Houston got nothing for him. Does he look healthy to you, Gad? I mean, beyond the fact that he's not making shots, does he look healthy to you?
Yeah, so, I mean, you started that off with the word.
Before you answer that, read your guy HM's don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. HM's my guy. I got this. HM, once again, hope you're having a great night. We are starting to see more effort defensively from guys like Tyler and Duncan because for the first time, their playing time is legitimately threatened. And that's a great point. I honestly did not consider that, but that is a really, really, really good point. But Ethan, to your point, first of all, I had to look up the word dichotomy at the beginning of your sentence because I was not exactly sure what that was, but it is a bit of a compare and contrast sort of thing.
Welcome to Alex's life. Go ahead.
I'm learning. Learning something new every day. But I don't think it's a health thing. I think it's more so a confidence in his health. So if that makes sense, because he moves mechanically, it looks like he moves very sound. Like he's athletic, he's able to explode, like he has the explosiveness there. Maybe not 3 years ago, the Oladipo explosiveness, but he's an explosive, like above average athlete, NBA player at the very minimum. So I don't really think that's a question. I just think maybe the confidence in his jump, the confidence in his ability to kind of create separation isn't fully there. And maybe mechanically his jumper isn't fully there the way that he wanted it to be. Maybe he's not getting the same lift. But I don't think the health is really a question right now. I think as he kind of starts to get into a groove a little bit, maybe just starting to drive a little bit more, whatever it may be, once he feels more comfortable in the offense, I think he'll be totally fine. Just I don't think health is too much of a question. If it is, then he probably will not be here past June or July.
Well, and he knows that. But let's follow on this because obviously they can just cycle back to Kyle Lowry. But let me follow on this then. How is he going to get his rhythm if he's not playing every game? Because I think that I don't think he's going to play the back-to-backs. I don't. I think he's going to play one half of them. I think Goran will play the other half, honestly. I think they're going to stagger the two of them. I don't really know what's up with Nunn right now. It's a little weird, okay? But because he didn't even get in at the end, okay, of this one. But I don't think they're going to play a lot together. So I'll go to Jonathan on this one, and then I'll bolt. How do they get rhythm? What is more important? Is Oladipo getting right or getting rhythm? Because I feel like it's in some sense it's one or the other.
I mean, think about it this way, right? If he ends up playing bad and in the offseason you can get him at a discount, and after he gets the discount, he was playing more healthy, you can trade him for an asset in the future, right? You can pair him up with a Tyler Herro, ship him off for a Bradley Beal or something like that. So I think there's a couple of options that we can go. I think we could, if he continues to play, maybe at not up to the levels that we wanted him to play, which is, what he wants to be at as like a $20 million, $25 million player, then we could potentially get somebody at a discount, kind of like what Steph Curry was early in his career with his ankles, and then we can trade him because he'll be on such a good contract. So I think there's many options that we have with Victor Oladipo. The best part about it is we didn't give up really much to get him back. So we have many options that we can go with.
That's a great point. And Royal, then I'm getting out. That's a great point on Curry. The reason that the Warriors were able to have a dynasty is because Steph Curry had bad ankles. I'll always say that because they had him on the cheapest contract for a superstar. Thank you very much, Kelvin. Appreciate it. There's no comment there, but thank you anyway. But they had him on the cheapest contract that allowed them to accommodate everything else that they wanted to do going forward. And maybe there will be a similar situation with Oladipo. All right. Thanks, guys. You do a great job here. Thanks to
Thank you for stopping in.
For all the
Appreciate you.
No
right,
problem. Thanks, guys. BUSR.com, 5RS10.
There you go.
Royal needs that sponsor money.
Tell you. All right. So I kind of do. I wanted to go back to Ethan's question because I think it was a really good one. I want to give everybody a chance to answer it about whether it's important to get Victor right or whether it's to get him rhythm. I think for me, his rhythm that they're talking about is offensive rhythm because he seems to slot in fine already defensively. And if he does nothing else, as long as he's able to be this level of defender whenever he plays, then I think that's more than enough for what Miami needs at this present time. Am I wrong? I thought it's to you, Ariel.
You're not wrong at all, but I kind of don't feel like it's an either or proposition. I feel like there are, what are the Heat, 26 and 24? So there are 22 games left. They have 4 back-to-back sets. So say he misses 4 games scheduled for the rest of the season. That's 18 games for him to kind of figure out, A, his role within the offense, B, get his legs under him and get the jump shot falling. And once he figures out his role within the offense, the shot is going to start dropping. He's not going to be a 50-something% from the field type of guy. He's never been a crazy efficient player, save for his best season, his best couple of seasons. And even then he was sub 50%. So, but I don't think that he's going to be shooting 3 of 13 every night. I think 18 games, like I said, is a good enough time for him to figure things out within the lineup. And again, man, if Duncan and Trevor Ariza and guys like him, Tyler Herro, who's played much better since the trade deadline, if these guys are hitting and they're hot and they found their jumpers, there's so much less pressure for Vic to have to, kind of not even carry the offense, but be even the third option on offense, that he can survive on his high-level defense at the point of attack, and B, his ability to collapse the defense and kick the ball out. He's a very good passer, right? The bounce passes are on point. He has pretty good court vision, so I'm not too worried about him. I think he'll figure things out just fine.
Yeah, we getting 2-for-1 specials out here or something. It's like going to Wendy's for 4.
Before anything, can I read that comment from Kelvin? He didn't. I don't think he attached it to the donation.
No,
Thank you once again, Kelvin. Victor seems like a guy who's finally hooked up with his dream girl and is afraid to mess up, overthinking that.
Yep.
I mean, it looks like he's trying to be a star, right? Like he's trying to get everybody to love him, trying to get his teammates to love him. He's forcing the issue a little bit. I think once he gets comfortable, he'll be okay. That is a great comparison, though. Like that's probably exactly what's happening right now. He'll be all right, though. Give it time.
So we got our guy Adam Barad. The only reason we let him in here is because he gave a dono earlier in the show. Adam, you got a Bluetooth in your ear, bro?
I do. It's new.
Oh, he's big time.
Thank you for noticing.
Time. That's big time. Hey, come on, man. You know what I do. So give me your thoughts on the game, brother, and just give me your overall thoughts on how you feel Victor's been able to fit in so far.
He fits in perfectly defensively. On offense, it seems like he's a little bit out of place at times. I noticed in the first half, it was a little bit of a hot potato between him and Jimmy. That'll iron itself out. And if him and Jimmy are on the court together, it looks to me like Oladipo just stands in the corner, which isn't ideal. So we'll have to figure it out. I love Jimmy and Depot staggering minutes. I love that. When Jimmy's on the bench, it's Oladipo time, and he acts like Jimmy on the court. And I love that because you'll always have a penetrator on the court at all times. This team needed that, but the shots need to fall. And when the time comes, he needs to figure it out. He had most of his shots were open, and the beauty of it is those open shots will keep coming to him because of how well this team is gelling offensively from those other guys. So we'll figure it out. If Depot hits his shots, sky's the limit.
Yeah, I kind of likened it to Trevor Ariza's early step when he first got here. He wasn't hitting much of anything, but his fit defensively kind of was seamless. And it's the same thing with Victor Oladipo. Like his fit defensively is seamless, but the offense, and I think that'll eventually come. Like he's getting easy looks, like you said, wide open looks. So that should be great. So let's talk about the next game. We got the Grizzlies coming in. Let's start with my boy Jonathan Ramachan. Jonathan, little boy, feeling good? Your mic is muted, so we don't know how you feeling.
Quiet.
Feeling quiet. I don't know who you mean, man. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I feel like this is a game we could take care of. We have a pretty decent stretch coming up. I feel like Adam alluded to, if Victor can actually hit a couple more of shots, he can actually have a little bit better of an impact of a game. Memphis isn't a massively scoring team, right? So they're not going to outscore you or overpower you. And I think we have a little bit of a Jimmy versus Winslow thing going on where Jimmy overpowers him, tells him to come guard him, and then and scores on him. So I think we get that win.
All right. Gad, the little boy feeling good?
Boy, feeling good, right? Like I feel solid about this game. Is Jaren Jackson Jr. back yet? Do we know about that?
I don't think so.
He isn't? Okay, yeah. So, I mean, Jaren Jackson Jr. would maybe present a problem, but for the time being, I think the Heat should be able to win this game. They lost a game that they really should have won last time they played against Memphis. And you have another guy that can kind of do a pretty decent job against Ja and kind of get in front of him a little bit, maybe create other people to create. And they don't have many other creators on that team. So I think the Heat should be able to win this game. I believe it's at home. Yeah, this is a game that, like, I think there is motivation for the Heat to win this game. I don't know why, but I feel like the Grizzlies kind of have our number last 2 times we played them. So it would be nice to see the Heat actually be able to win this game against a relatively solid team.
Did you say that Jaren Jackson may pose a problem if he was playing? That's like saying Anthony Davis could have an impact if he was playing on with the Lakers.
My gosh.
Ariel, the boy feeling good?
The boy feeling good. The boy feeling good. I think the Heat are due to win this game. The last game they played was on the second night of a back-to-back. It was a disgusting, low-scoring, nasty-ass game to watch. The Heat shot something like 35, 37% from the field in that game. They couldn't make anything. Their offense is looking a lot better lately. I think they get going in this game a little bit more and they get the W.
All right. Clutch, the boy feeling good?
The boy's feeling good.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Backwards hat.
That was my first time saying that.
Yeah, feel good, don't it?
It feels real good. I think this time the issue with the last game is that John Morant, there was no stopping him. He got everything that he wanted. He even had the game winner because he just drove down the lane and had a layup. So I think the Heat with Depot, they're gonna lock him up a bit. Hopefully, I'm not wrong. But I think John Morant and his driving lanes are gone in this game, and it's in Miami, right?
Yeah,
it has to be. Yeah, it's in Miami. So I think the Heat win this one easily, and I think they actually blow them out, and they blow out a team for the first time in what feels like ages.
A man after my own heart. So we want to thank the guys, the underside for the $4.99 dono. I'm predicting that the Heat will get Depot right. We will soon see the best version of Victor Oladipo. I absolutely agree with you. Want to thank my guy Mark M for the $5 donation. He said, who do you think gets signed for the last roster spot since league rules said so? Anybody, bro. Like we said, it doesn't matter who they sign at this point. They're not going to play. So y'all know where I'm at with this. The Heat going to blow that shit out because I predicted a 6-game win streak. We're up to 4. And so I think that the Memphis Grizzlies are going to be the next casualty. I think Vic kind of gets his first good offensive game, not 20 points, but maybe 15, 16 points. And we get the same performances that we've been getting from Duncan, Bam, and Jimmy. So, everybody.
Wait. I think you missed the second dono.
No, I got Mark M and I got the undersigned.
Did you?
Yeah, I got them both, bro.
Yeah, you got them both.
Wi-Fi is trash.
Bro, come on, man. Y'all talking to the Michael Jordan, the Heat streaming host, baby.
That's crazy.
I catch them all. But yeah, so can I pay the bills now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna go fight my router, so feel free.
Time to pay the bill. So, Gad, as your punishment, it's not really a punishment. You get to pay the primary sponsor of the 5 Reasons Sports Post Game Show, Biscayne Bay Brewing.
Biscayne Bay Brewing. They opened up the coolest brewing hall, I believe, at Marlins Stadium. It actually looks really cool. I believe it is like posted all over the 5 Reasons Twitter. So if you are at a Marlins game, go ahead and check that out because that is really dope. Obviously, they're serving the Biscayne Bay Brewing, the beer. You got the Tropical Bay IPA, which is very handy in the top right corner of this screen. You also have the Pastime Pilsner, Miami Pale Ale, and Marlins Lager. Like, you get Miami beer to watch a Miami sports team. It could not be any better than that. So go ahead and get your Biscayne Bay Brewing and have a good time.
Yes, indeed. And they also are at Heat games too.
Are they really?
So, yes, they are.
I haven't been in forever, so I wouldn't know.
I haven't been either, but I saw a picture. Ethan posted it up. Jonathan, you're paying Miami Grill tonight, brother.
All right, yeah. So head over to Miami Grill. They were formerly known as, was it Miami Subs?
Yes, They were.
Awesome. So Miami Grill, we're bringing Miami to your table. If you're craving it, we're making it. We serve the best of everything from everywhere. Cheesesteaks, Greek gyros, chicken wings, and everything from in between. You're always craving something from Miami. They got the best food. If you want high-end, quick food. You can go pick it up fast and take it home and eat it after you get drunk sometime. Just go ahead and go to Miami Grill, and they have the best hot food. It's never cold. They got the best things out there.
At Miami Grill, we've been delivering big favorites from big places for over 30 years. We use fresh ingredients that pack bold flavors, and we always deliver your food the way you like it. So tonight, don't just bring home dinner, bring home Miami.
See, I stopped fast enough so many wouldn't even try. Tonight, I'm going to pay some bills, and I'm going to pay Vertigear. So, Vertigear is the sports gaming chair, the official sports gaming chair of the 5 Reasons Sports Network. And they are really comfortable chairs, super easy to build. They have this patented slide-in hardware that makes assembly very easy. It's like a couple of pieces screwed in. Unless your name is Ethan J. Skolnick, it takes weeks for you to do it. I don't know if the man has even fixed his chair yet. But it comes with surface layer, ultra premium, high resiliency foam, which responds and courtiers to your body. And that's the foam that you're sitting on. That's the material that they make these chairs out of. And the chair features built-in lumbar support and an adjustable memory foam neck pillow, which is this right here. So yeah, make sure you use the affiliate link, which you can find in the description below, and then go check out some of those premium gaming chairs. You can put in your height, weight, and all that kind of stuff and find the perfect chair for you. So yeah, that works out well. So let's talk about some of these shows.
Whoa. Royal, we need to do Vertigear some justice here.
What do you mean?
Manny, can you put it on me? Put the camera on me.
Oh, man. Full screen? Oh, Clutch Pan Bills.
Salesman Clutch.
Shh. There's 400 people watching this stream right now. I want at least 200 of you to click on that link below. If you look at what Gad and what Ariel are sitting on right now, it's a disgrace. Gad is sitting on a bench. He doesn't even have any back support. We need people to buy these chairs so that Gad and Ariel and maybe Brian can have something to sit on, a Vertigear. If we get 5 more sales of Vertigear, they get a chair to sit on. And if you like the Skyforce like we do, we want to get them a chair. Thank you very much.
For just 30 cents a day, you can feed these children.
Oh my gosh.
We're getting back problems. Our backs are giving out.
Tell you. So let's talk about some of the shows that's coming up. Ariel, you didn't get to pay any bills. So as a special treat to you, you get to talk about walkouts and knockouts and the shoot around all to yourself. Manny, put them on the full screen.
Oh boy! All right. Well, let's start with walkouts and knockouts. Next Saturday, what are we today? The 4th? Yeah. So the 3rd actually. Sorry. So next Saturday we've got Kevin Holland stepping in to fight Marvin Vettori at the UFC Apex Center. That should be a great card. Kevin Holland's a blast to watch fight. He talks shit. He gets in there. He backs it up. He's a fun as hell fighter. So check myself and Jonathan Romlikon out every Saturday where there's a UFC event, and we'll probably cover some other stuff. So, keep an eye out on the Twitter timeline. Myself or Jonathan will let you guys know either there or on here. But next Saturday, 4 p.m., 5 Reasons YouTube, walkouts and knockouts. And then the shoot around is a 140-second or less short clip that Gadiel Cartagena and myself like to put out there on the Twitter timeline so that you guys can consume some Heat news. We'll tell you about the game. We'll preview the game. We'll talk about storylines today. We talked about Victor Oladipo and how he can impact the Heat offensively and defensively and what we thought would happen in tonight's game. And we were right about that. It'll either post on my Twitter timeline or Gadiel Cartagena's timeline. Game day mornings, 10 a.m., 9 a.m., 11 a.m., somewhere in there. So check us out. That's the shoot around.
All right, my man. Oh, yeah. So somebody's comment said 5 on the floor versus post up versus Miami Heat beat. Who wins?
What about Clutch Corner?
That's what I'm splitting hairs there because I'm a member of both and I love them equally, just like children. And then somebody said,
"Don't lie."
What?
Nobody likes their children the same way.
This is true. Tyler Herro scored more crunch time points than anyone last season for the Heat Royal. I don't care. Go to Valor. So as a matter of fact, let's talk about the Clutch Corner. Adam, you want to talk about it or you want me to talk about it?
I can do it. So on Thursday, we've got the Clutch Corner. It'll be a takeover of the post-up show. It's going to be Thursday after the Heat-Lakers game. It's Lakers on Thursday, right, Ro?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, it's going to be the same exact show as we always do, but it'll be geared toward the end and our reactions of that game. So hope to see you guys there.
Fabulous. So, thank you to everybody in the comments for coming in, making the show much more fun. Thank you to my guy, Jonathan Romlacan, Gadiel Cartagena, Ariel Latias, my man, Ethan J. Skolnick for jumping us, and the man himself, Mr. Adam Barai. So, thank you all for watching. As always, we'll see you guys next game. Play the video, Manny.